Hello, my name is Mark Johnston, and I want to take a minute and talk to you about the benefits of accepting those you disagree with or you don't like. Um, Over the past year, I've had several conversations with a very good friend of mine and business associate, Jimmy Greene from Associated Builders and Contractors, about the word like and the value of the meaning and the use of the word. Jimmy and I we agree that we're friends with the people that we like, and we do business with people that we like, and ultimately, you must like people who you value and who you trust. They are synonymous. If you don't like them, you probably won't trust them, right? And if you don't trust them, you probably don't like them. Now, let's face it, you're not going to like everyone, and sometimes the feeling is mutual. We meet someone who just rubs us wrong. Your instant rivals, right down to the barely suppressed sneer and the curled lip. There are so many reasons that affect our choices of who we like and who we dislike. Sadly, the reality is we often are drawn to and we like people who tend to be similar to us, and we dislike those who are different from us for whatever reason. How they dress, their tone of voice, their education, maybe the house or the car they own, their job, the people they associate with, or their friends, their economic status, religious beliefs, political ideologies, color of their skin, shape of their body, their hairstyle. The list goes on and on and on. And as you can see, it it is easier, and we have many more reasons to not like, again, not like someone um, um, more than we do reasons to like them. Many of you start off by looking for reasons to not like you or to let you in or close to us instead of finding commonality and appreciating our differences. Now, sometimes it's not quite so dramatic. We might actually be making every effort to build a relationship, but the other person is just not having it. Or there's a previous history standing in the way of the relationship before it even has a chance to grow or an opportunity. Today, with so much divisiveness, conflict, and negativity in the world, on social media, in the news, as you're walking around the store getting glares, you know, people fighting in the parking lots, road rage on the roads that we travel, whatever the case may be, there's come a time to let it go, to let go of dislike. Holding on to animosity, holding even something as subtle as not wanting to be around certain people at work, it only ends up affecting, frustrating, angering, and hurting you in the end. The truth is that, in fact, you might be missing out on some hidden benefits by accepting someone who you feel you don't like. There should be some value there. While it's easier to find reasons to not like someone, your life would be much better off and more fulfilling if you just make an effort to look for and find the reasons to accept and like them for who they are, even if you don't see things the same way or have the same beliefs or live the same lifestyle. So are you a little intrigued at this point? Good, I hope so. I want you to continue listening, and you're going to discover the many benefits, the why of it. Better yet, how accepting and liking others leads to a happier and more prosperous life. It's so much less stressful. There are so many benefits to accepting those who you dislike. So let's take a look at some of them. Um, it reduces stress caused by the tension within the relationship. When you don't like somebody, you're feeling stress. You've got heat on the back of your neck. You're on edge. Um, it cuts down on anxiety, regarding what the other person's going to say or what they're do, because you're anticipating, you're thinking, you're actually being judgmental or looking for conflict. You're wondering what's going to be said, and you're preparing for a fight, so to speak. It frees you from destructive thought patterns regarding the individual, right? Because you're sitting there as you're thinking and having conversations. You're looking for fault. You're looking for them to say something incorrect or in a way that you don't like it. You're really being judgmental and looking for flaws in either their words, their characters, their thought process, their belief systems. Um, what it happens is it allows you to enjoy your relationship fully without worrying about how someone will or won't react. You can just be you and they can be them, and there's not that tension there. It opens you up to understand different beliefs, to learn different lifestyles and different cultures. Man, for those of us that have had the opportunity to leave the state and go off into the military, or go off on missions in other countries where a bunch of strangers come together from all over the country or all over the world, you really get to learn about cultures and belief systems and lifestyles, and find commonality and realize, wow, I was really living in a bubble, and the more you learn about people, the more you tend to get along and accept people for who they are, and your relationships are much better and deeper. It establishes deeper relationships beyond the surface and first impressions, right? And it builds a broader network. The more you like people and let them into your world, now you've got a stronger network of people to talk to do things with, to bounce ideas off, to look for support from. It builds a support system of friends and business associates. So, the benefits of liking people far outweigh, the results of and the effects of disliking people, and how it hurts you as a person. In order to open your heart and your mind to accept and like others for who they are, I figured out there's really only, a simple three magic steps, or three steps, or three strategies to open your heart and to like people. All right, so let's take a look at step one, which is address any fears. Frequently when we dislike someone, it's because they're triggering us somehow. Triggering like a past memory of a relationship or an interaction that caused us pain, anger, or loss. Had that created a negative, memorable feeling with us. Um, we also naturally fear the unknown. Uh, those who we don't know, we fall in or step into that interaction with a hesitancy that's kind of based in fear, right? So by looking deeper into the emotions being raised and addressing them, you'll be able to let go of a lot of the negativity you're feeling towards other people. This is especially true with fears, and because fears have a way of looking like other things. You know, they're they you think that you dislike somebody, but it's really dislike is masking the fear, because we don't like to know or admit that we have fear, especially you know as you look at what's going on with coronavirus and things like that. Nobody wants to admit that they're afraid potentially, so they're masking fear with dislike. We fear that which is unknown, or that which is different. We have fears of going to certain neighborhoods or certain stores. We have fears based on how a person looks at us, or how they speak, with their tone of their voice, the pitch of their voice. And these fears are typically based on, you know, past experiences, stereotypes, something that, and they're like a single interaction that may or may not have happened. There could be just a perception, or something that we've been told by others that gave us reason to fear, whether it was factual or not. We fear whether or not we can trust others to not hurt us, to not use us, to not manipulate us, to not take from us. For some reason, our fears prevent us from, really listening or understanding opposing and different opinions and beliefs, or even being able to accept them. Sometimes it's good to be able to just agree to disagree, to not judge what other people are thinking, saying, their beliefs, their thoughts. Instead, like the person for who they are, agree to disagree with their idea, their thought process, their perception. We have information from different sources and different backgrounds and different interactions. And unfortunately, there's so much information out there that, some of it is wrong, some of it's misleading, some of it's perception. And so there are people out there that are taking this information and fighting with the information, instead of saying, let's have a conversation and learn from each other, because I like you and I value your opinion, and I would hope that you like me and you value my opinion, and we can learn from each other and have a civil conversation with the goal of appreciating each other and liking each other and learning from each other, versus I don't like you, you're wrong. Be aware of your feelings and identify the feelings of fear when they come up, and what's triggering the feeling of fear, and then let it go. That's part of emotional intelligence, knowing, all right, I'm having emotions, it's affecting my behavior, my thought processes, and my decisions. Are these emotions real? Are they valid? Are they justified? Is the fear something is there a real reason to be fear, or is it just something that's come up from a past experience or a past memory? Face that fear head on and open yourself up to goodness. That's how great extreme athletes become proficient or become good. They recognize, we have a fear of heights. I overcome that fear of heights, and now I can jump, flip, twist, all kinds of things, because I've realized there are certain things that I have in control of me, certain joy I have inside of me. I don't have to allow outside sources, outside people, outside perceptions, outside stereotypes create fear in me, or biases create fear in me. I can like other people for who they are without having fear. Step one was to address the fear within us. Step two is to let go of anger and hate. Much like fear, anger and hate have a way of keeping up a pretense of a hearty dislike. This is what happens when you let things fester, especially over something you've been holding on to for a long time, or over a period of time. When we walk around with a chip on our shoulder, and our hearts filled with anger and hate, we're unable to like ourselves, let alone others. The feeling of anger and hate raises our blood pressure, causes stress, makes us react negatively, and we strike out at others who are undeserving because of emotion that's deep within inside us, that anger, that hate. We don't even give them a chance to like them. When we act out of anger or hate, we're acting in a selfish manner to fill an emptiness, to right a wrong, to make ourselves feel better, right, or to gain control. Um, so here's a pro tip when you're addressing or feeling anger or hate. Try this. Try from the onset forgiveness. Try to not place blame, not look for fault. lay the past to rest between you and try accepting the other person, things, memories, lessons, and opportunities. Live in the now, live in the moment, accept people for the person they have become, not who they were or because of other people in their past or in their history. Um, let let go of your preconceived judgment that's based in anger or hate. So step one was to address fear, acknowledge fear, let go of fear. Step two is to let go of anger and hate. And now step three is to look for good in the relationship. If you're caught up in dislike, you might not have noticed there's been a positive impact in your relationship. Um, Look for the things you've learned from other people, or look for opportunities to learn from other people. Even harsh lessons, even negative, bad things have a way of guiding us on new paths and benefiting us for the long run. There's always an opportunity to learn, even in things that we see again or repeat themselves. We can learn something more from it. When I was in the military, the Marine Corps, we always looked at every training opportunity, every mission, every interaction as an opportunity to improve communication, to improve logistics, to improve travel time, to improve problem solving skills. We're always looking to be flexible and change and improve. Um, Sometimes we do ourselves a great disservice. We do a great disservice to ourselves by hanging on to an immediate feeling of dislike for somebody. I don't like them. For all those things that we listed at the beginning of this session, this training here is because I don't like them because of their hair color or how they part their hair, the shoes they wear, the way they dress, whatever it is. Um, and it, and we're blocking opportunities to experience new things, for happiness, for joy, to share positive energy. As humans who grow and change, if we allow for it, relationships with those we don't like can improve. We just have to open the door and say, you know, historically or in the past, I really didn't like you. In our brain, we don't necessarily have to tell them to their face, but I'm going to give you an opportunity, and I'm going to put an effort in to liking you, even your flaws, even the things that I disagree with. Um, uh, Even if the connection between the two of you never becomes stronger, accepting that the person accepting that the person is just the way they are, it'll bring more peace into your life. It's going to allow for more happiness and ultimate joy. When you allow yourself to like other people's, the benefits to you were all those things that we listed before, right? In the long run, liking people has far more value, far more benefit to you. And when you like people, you're more willing to listen to them. You're more willing to problem solve with them. You're more willing to work together to fix things. Right now, the stuff that's going on in our world, whether it be coronavirus, Black Lives Matter, the the election, so many different things going on in our world and in our nation. If we could spend more time liking each other, we could cross boundaries. We could we could expedite problem solving. We could be much better in our communities and our families and as a nation to solve problems and move forward. So I encourage you, my whole goal for this little taped message here is to put an effort into spending more time liking people and being kind to people than finding fault and anger and challenging and fighting everybody. We can all get along and be more powerful, stronger as a community as one if we would just spend the same amount of effort Shoot, it doesn't even take as much effort liking people more than we dislike them. I like you, and I hope this gave you value.